guys, Happy New Year. I hope you guys have had a much better start to the year than I have. I started off the decade strong with a 7-day flu that ended with a perforated eardrum, so we're really doing our best. I really wanted today's video to go up on the 1st, but I was pretty much bedbound on the 1st and the 2nd and the 3rd. So hopefully you guys are still in the New Year spirit, or maybe you can use it for future New Year's. But if you have read the title of this video, it is to write a letter to your future self. For a bit of background information, I bought this box from Kiki, which is a stationery company from a country I can't remember. And inside were all these little letters with prompts, and you basically fill out the letters, write a open by date on the back, and then open it in the future. And the one that I ended up using, well, the only one I ended up using because I procrastinate too much, it is 1 year from now and I am. So I wrote this letter on the 1st of January 2019, and I put a reminder in my phone, thank God, to open the letter on the 31st of December. And yeah, in hindsight, it probably been a lot more interesting for me to react to the letter on camera, but I didn't do that clearly, and I can't act, so I'm not going to fake it either. I will definitely write that on my planner for next year, but instead I'm going to make a video on just some tips on how to make it a good experience, tips on how to make it more fun. Moving on, the first thing I want to talk about is why you should write a letter to your future self. And why you should listen to a random dude on the internet. Random dudette on the internet. So when the new year was approaching, I was doing what everyone does, scrolling through social media, and I kind of fell into that trap where everyone was posting about how 2019 was terrible, can't wait for 2020, new me, yay. And I ended up like wanting to hurry up and wanted 2019 to end, and I started thinking that 2019 was such a bad year and I hated it. And there were definitely some bad bits in 2019. I'm not saying it was like some star-studded year for me. It was hard. But there were definitely some good bits that I had just forgotten about. And as human beings, we tend to remember the bad bits, sadly. So my letter definitely helped me remember achievements that I didn't even consider achievements anymore. One of the examples I can give is I wrote about a wedding speech that I was meant to give in March. So obviously when I was writing this letter, I hadn't given it. And I was pooping my pants about this speech. I was terrified. And I basically wrote in my letter, how did it go? And I remembered it went really well. I got a standing ovation. So, not to sound like a big-headed idiot, but I didn't consider that an achievement. I was like, it's just a wedding speech, who cares about that? But it is an achievement at the end of the day. And another example I can give is in my letter I wrote, did you end up going to Japan or traveling? I really need you to enjoy life, woman. At the beginning of 2019, I was having a conversation with a friend. Well, I think towards the end of 2018, I was having a conversation with a friend, and I threw out that we should go to Japan. And it was one of those things where you just mention it, but no one really takes action on it. But I did end up taking action on it, and I went on a 2-week holiday with my best friend to Japan, and it was amazing. And I actually went on a solo trip to New York later in December, which I will also be making a video about. I just think that writing a letter to yourself is such a wholesome thing to do. It really makes you feel amazing at the end of the year. And it really surprised me because I was ending 2019 on a bad note, and I read my letter and I was like, I'm really happy that the new year is coming, but I'm really happy of what I managed to achieve in 2019. The second thing I want to talk about is starting off. Obviously, you can just get plain paper and an envelope and write a letter. It does not have to be fancy. I've even seen people use this website where you write yourself an email, but the website will send the email to your email box like a year later. So you could do that if you're more technologically savvy. I think this year I still have those boxes of Kiki letters, so I'm going to use that. You could even do those, what are they called, pen pal with me videos, if you follow them, and they make their letters look amazing. I don't have the artistic ability for it, but you could pen pal to yourself a year later. That is absolutely not a sad thing to do. I promise it's not. It just sounds sad. It's fun. But yeah, plain paper and a white envelope would do the same thing. The third thing I wanted to talk about is what to actually write in your letter. Obviously, I can't tell you what to write. That's pretty much personal preference. I tend to write as if I'm writing to another person. So, what is that? Third person? I think it's third person. Is it second person? English was not my strong suit. But I think the best way to do it is to be both optimistic of your goals, but realistic. Obviously, you want to write down your hopes and dreams that you wish you had accomplished in 2020, but you also have to be realistic. You might not accomplish some of those goals. You might not accomplish any of those goals. You might accomplish all of them. So one of the things I wrote in my letter, I'm such a badass. I was like, I hope you passed second year of pharmacy school, but if you didn't, at least you're alive. But yeah, that's the kind of thing you've got to be optimistic, but also understand that write something nice if you don't end up achieving your goals. And most of my letter is questions, almost as if I'm talking to someone else. I ask a lot of questions about my life a year later, which helps me to reflect on where I am at life. So one of the questions was, how is SHINee, which is my favorite K-pop band, and it was like, did you buy their albums, which I'm happy to, I think I can show you. Wait, what the, here, all these albums that I bought with me from Japan, and more up there. But at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be serious. I just don't want anyone to write a letter that they read a year later and get upset over, because that is definitely not the objective of this exercise. The last step would be the finishing touches. You can completely skip this step if you want. But what I did was just put in a little sticker with a quote that I really liked, and then wrote my name in calligraphy. You could decorate it more, decorate it less, do whatever makes you happy. I put in a cute gift, which was this cute Pikachu card, because I love Pokemon, if you couldn't tell already. Yeah, so I just put a Pikachu card in there as a little gift for myself when I open it a year later. You could put anything. You could put washi tapes, you could put maybe some jewelry and earrings, stickers. Literally, you could put anything. You can even make a little parcel to yourself to open a year later. And then finally, I sealed the envelope. I ended up sealing it with like these stickers that say, plan a life you love, and then one that says important, and then this cute little green polka dot one that says when I should open it, with a smiley face. So once you sealed it, put it somewhere safe. Don't do what I did. And I'd completely forgotten I had this letter, and I spent 2 hours looking for the box, which is something you don't want to do. Actually, it would be really smart to put a reminder on your phone, and then in the location bit, you can write where you've put the letter. And I think that's it. That's literally all I have to say on this topic about writing a letter to yourself. Apologies if this video was a bit rambly. I tried to stick to the point, which is why I planned the video out, but clearly I just like to talk a lot, so. And I hope you guys have a great 2020. And with that, I really need to blow my nose, so I will say bye-bye. And also, someone remind me to read this letter a year later, please.